And while I'm in classical, I think I will also upgrade my Ashigaru Spearman to Bushi.
ピンポーン。ゆっくりしていってね。
What is up, YouTube? How's it going? I'm YukkuriChei and welcome to some Rise of Nations Shenanigans. For those of you who are just interested in my crawl content, I guess there will be an announcement at the end of the video, so please click an annotation somewhere here on your screen and proceed listening to it. But, you know, for those of you who are interested, welcome to my new video series in which I'm going to play this amazing RTS game against the AI, because I'm not good enough for multiplayer. There are different difficulty settings in this game, and you know, I believe all the good multiplayer people can smash the toughest one all the time. And today I'm going to try doing this as well, but I'm going to showcase a very silly, very simple strategy known as rushing. Yes, that good old ancient rush. And I'm going to do it as Japanese because, well, first of all, I'm a bit of a weeaboo, but also I kind of like their cheap farms. And I like developing a little bit of economy before rushing. By a little bit, I mean just a couple of farms and like a couple of citizens on the woodcutter's camp. Usually people go with something like Romans or Aztecs for rushing because they get one free military research at the start of the game and they can build barracks instantly. But I'm gonna go with Japanese, so let's see how it goes. Once again, toughest difficulty because AI is usually bad at handling rushes, and arena map because that's what the pros usually play anyway, and aggressive strategies work out on arena maps the best. So, as you can see, if the game loads. Yeah, as you can see, as Japanese, I also have a bunch of unique heavy infantry units which are going to be very useful anyway. Let's queue up my infinite citizens. You are a scout, you're going to scout out my opponent, and I also like to scout with like 2 extra citizens or so, because you've gotta gather those ruins, and I have already forgot to research my stuff in time. You know, usually you need to go science 1 into military 1. I mean, usually you go science 1 into civic 1, but since we're rushing, we need to do some military research. So you are going to build a barracks for me. Come on, come on, come on! Yes, my gosh, my APM is terrible. Don't judge me. So, you, guess you're going to build a farm for me. Sometime later, I guess you're going to help building barracks first. So, that's all of my early preparations. The map is... what is this map? African watering hole, or... what is this? There's a bit of water in the center, but I'm not gonna bother with that. I don't have time for that, and I also would need Commerce 1 to even build docks. So, okay guys, you're going to build farms, alright? And I'm going to make some infantry units, preferably heavy infantry. The formula for rushing is usually like 4 heavy infantries and 1 light infantry. Heavy infantry is because, well, not only because they are unique for my nation, but also because they are like the only infantry units which are even capable of doing significant damage to buildings. And light infantry is for countering archers, which counter heavy infantry. So there's a lot of meta going on. I usually prefer attacking with something like 5 heavy infantries and 1 light infantry. Something like that. Anyway, I kind of hope to gather a lot of ruins with these guys, so that I could make my units in time. I already have 2, I'm going to create the 3rd one, a 4th one, and slingers. Okay. By the way, thankfully the computer is not rushing because he has a 2nd city, as you can see, by his territory and his score. He doesn't have too much of a score actually, probably because I have developed a bit of an economy as well. So, there's not really much to do here. Guess I'm going to create 1 more infantry unit and... oh my gosh, he's Lakota, that's why his score is so low. Lakota is actually... Lakota AI... no, I don't want to quit. Lakota AI is actually kind of terrible. So I guess I'm going to have an easy time here. In the meanwhile, I guess I'm going to research Commerce 1, because there's not too much else I can do with my military, so I guess Commerce 1 into into some scouting, into probably a market to gather, I don't know, salt. Yeah, salt would be good for me. It would allow me to spam my military units, I mean my barracks units faster. So I'm just going to wait until I guess, get enough units here, something like 4, and just proceed to attack his capital, Makasika. So Lakota is a nation which starts pretty slowly, and you know, normal human players would start another way. They would research Science 1 into Commerce 1, and then they would create a lot of citizens and scout all around the map, because Lakota cannot make farms. So, but instead they use citizens and cavalry units to even gather food. Anyway, I digress. I should, I don't know, build something, because while I'm talking I'm really not doing anything else. Create one more unit, and this city is going to go down really fast, because this heavy infantry is already stronger than the normal one. Not only that, but I'm also having a bonus which allows me to deal even more damage to, you know, to buildings with my with my infantry units. Anyway, I guess you should attack this city. I kind of mismanaged my units a little bit. That's why I'm not attacking optimally, but that's fine, I guess. Oh my gosh, guys, please do your thing. I also should step back with my slingers so that the city would focus my heavy infantry, because slingers are rather lightly armored. So I have captured the city, and as you can see, I got plus 500 to everything bonus, which would allow me to create a couple more units and advance into Classical Age. And while I'm in Classical, I think I will also upgrade my Ashigaru Spearman to Bushi. Well, if I don't win the game before that, because as you can see, the AI is not really pulling any resistance. And I also missed a ruin. How lovely. I guess you can auto-explore, and I don't know. Upgrade. It really doesn't matter what I do at this point, because the AI is absolutely screwed. Guess I'm going to set the speed to fast. So as you can see, rushing can be pretty deadly, but in normal games, wow, my score is 777. It's a jackpot. In normal games, people don't really rush because good players know how to handle it. I guess I'm going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, you'd better create some archers to counter these heavy infantry guys, because you can actually kill a lot of heavy infantry units just by having one archer garrison in and out of the city. Also, I guess attrition would help a little bit, as will building towers. And also there are certain nations which are better at handling rushes than others. For example, Russians, which not only have attrition from the start of the game, but they also get the capital sack bonus instead of you. So, you know, you sack their capital, but they get plus 500 to all resources, so they can build barracks and make a lot of archers and counter you to hell and back. What else? There are also Chinese, which have large cities by default, and they are very hard to capture without, without siege units. There are also Maya and Koreans. Mayan cities fire extra arrows, and Koreans, what do? Koreans can repair without penalties, you know. So, you know, you attack their city with heavy infantry and they just repair and don't even care. What else? Also, if your AI opponent is rushing, you can, well, as you could see, you can distinguish whether he's rushing or not by looking at their score and territory. Guess I'm going to show some tabs here. It doesn't really matter much. Also, look at my horrible APM. It's just 30. I don't think it's good. Score graph, military graph. So, yeah, if your AI opponent is rushing, you have pretty much won the game, unless they are like playing Americans, because Americans get bonuses for every infantry unit, so they kind of can boom and rush and raid at the same time. So yeah, basically, if your AI opponent is rushing, you can just make one archer and you are pretty much set. So this is going to be all for this video. Please let me know what you think about the start of this new series, and about my horrible voice, of course, because Seriously, I don't like my voice. So, until next time, take it easy. So, dear viewer, if you're listening to this, you happen to be subscribed to me for the crawl content, and all of a sudden you saw another game on my channel, so what's up with that? Well, I definitely don't feel like crawling this time around, and it doesn't mean I won't ever crawl again, because I usually return to games I've played for quite a while. For example, Rise of Nations, I've actually been playing that game since 2004 on and off, so I definitely will try crawling again, and I actually did try crawling again, but it didn't really go so well, since not only I was out of touch with the game, but there also was a very annoying bug which disallowed the use of the mouse in the game. It had something to do with the Russian and English layouts on the keyboard, so you probably don't have this problem if English is your only language. But it got really annoying, and even though good players don't use the mouse while playing roguelikes, old habits die hard, and it was very uncomfortable for me. But I still have some of my old recordings, for example, a recording of a vampire enchanter character who got the abyssal rune while not picking any items throughout the whole game, except for a bit of gold by mistake. But yeah, I have some ideas for videos about my old crawl gameplay, which is really outdated, but still probably quite amusing. Also, yeah, I think I'm planning to do something like 15 or so episode of the Rise of Nations series, and there is also Hearthstone. I've actually been quite emotionally invested into that game for the last year, and even though I'm not very good at the game, well, I guess I could still record some highlights. For example, I could record my gameplay, and if something hilarious happened, it might just end up being on my channel, because that game can be crazy sometimes. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. I also have my saves for Karkuma, so if I'm ever in good shape for crawling, I guess I could try recording some more episodes of that, so please don't bury the poor little demon girl. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say, so until next time, take it easy.